Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And y'all, I came in to talk about A Tale of Two Americas. More specifically, A Tale of Two Trials. Now, y'all, let me just say from the outset, I cannot sit through the Ahmaud Arbery trial, just moment after moment, hour after hour. And later on in the video, I'll explain why. So I want to talk about both trials, but I want to start with the Kyle Rittenhouse trial for obvious reasons, y'all. If this is not the epitome of white privilege, I don't know what is. We all know the circumstances behind what occurred and how we got to where we are now with this Kyle Rittenhouse trial. But yesterday I was sitting watching the trial and I was like, so let me get this straight. The whole reason, and this is, from his testimony, the whole reason why he went there is to help offer, medical attention. And I was sitting there like, medical attention to who? The rioters and protesters who you said that you were a little worried about, and that's why you took an AR-15 with you. Were those the people that you were there to offer medical assistance to? Let me make sure I'm understanding. Because were you offering it to police officers, paramedics, firemen, or whoever else was there? Or who was it? Okay? So let me just get that out the way. And then, y'all, as I sit there and I watch him testify. And I just want to ask any parent out there, think about when your child has been caught in some trouble and you are trying to sit down and talk to them and try to, find out the truth. What happened? What's going on? And as parents, we're watching their facial expressions as they tell us what occurred. And we can tell as parents that they're lying. That's what I felt when I was watching him yesterday. All that acting like he was a little unsure of stuff or he couldn't remember, I didn't buy any of that. I have interrogated a couple young people myself while they were growing up, and the same body language, the same facial expressions my kids have tried on me when they're trying to get out of something that they have done, you know? So not only does what he's saying not make sense of his reasons for being there, his reasons for shooting three people, ultimately killing two of them, his body language doesn't even match the story. Another thing, y'all, that when I was watching, I damn near passed out watching just from sheer disgust was that damn fake crying that he was doing. Y'all, I didn't even see him bust not one tear. To me, the crying was all an act, and it was such an act that it was like a cross between a sneeze and a hiccup. All that facial gyration and the emotion in his voice, he couldn't even crank up, crank it up enough to get some actual tears out. You know, the only thing that this young man is sorry for is that he got caught and he's now on trial. He doesn't seem to have an ounce of remorse for those two lives that he took. Now, y'all, let me just tell you something. While I was sitting there, I was thinking, okay, so you are 17 and you are now going to live with the knowledge that you took two human beings' lives. How do you even get through life with that on your brain? And y'all, I ain't right, but I hope those two young men that he killed, I hope they are haunting his dreams every night. Because had he not been there, they will be alive today. And proof of it is when you sit and watch the clips and videos that are being presented in court, I kept going back to if he wasn't there, none of this would have happened. Those protests and, all of that would have gone on, but there would not have been these young people walking around with assault weapons, AR-15s. Come on now, y'all. And then let's get to the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Y'all, he might as well just go on and sit at the defense table. And because basically what he's doing is he's helping them, the defense team, try the case against the prosecuting side. Yesterday, when he yelled at that prosecutor and went through this long, drawn out diatribe, dialogue, or whatever he was doing, I was sitting there like, why is he inserting himself in the case like he's Kyle Rittenhouse's grandfather or something? Y'all, I don't know what's going on with this judge, but I hope the DOJ is watching how he's handling this case because he is so clearly biased that it's not even funny. And y'all, it's sad to say, and I feel sorry for the families of the two young men that were killed that were at that protest. But I actually think that Kyle Rittenhouse is going to walk. Not because he's not guilty, not because he didn't do anything wrong. It's because the judge is setting it up for him to walk. Like I said, he's helping in defense. Anytime that judge is upset in that courtroom or yelling or talking all out of his head, it's against the prosecution. You never notice him, you know, holding the defense side, their feet to the fire, or reaming them out, yelling and screaming at them. It's always the prosecution. So I just feel like either he's being paid off, this was already set in stone, and this trial is a mere formality, or he's Kyle Rittenhouse's grandfather, because y'all, he doing everything in his power to make sure that this boy is found not guilty. And the most important thing is a lot of this is being done in front of this jury to try to sway their thinking, you know? And what I pray, which I don't know, y'all, what I pray is that those people that are sitting on that jury can see through all of this nonsense that's occurring in the court and keep telling themselves this. Because, see, this is how I make it make sense and how clear as water it is to me. If Kyle Rittenhouse had not been there with that AR-15, those two young men that were killed would not have been killed, and the young man who was wounded would not have been wounded. So for me, with that in mind, he is guilty and should be doing life or getting a death penalty. So y'all, that's it about him because I cannot talk about him because it annoys me. Again, like I said at the top of the video, this is the epitome of white privilege. Now, with a heavy heart, I want to move on to the Ahmaud Arbery trial. I don't even know what to say, y'all. When you hear and see, when you hear the details and you see the video, which y'all, I'm sorry, but I cannot sit and watch him fearing, first of all, him wondering what is going on. Then once he realized, that these men were out to get him, the fear, and then that to fighting for his life. I can't sit and watch that. I just cannot. It's too many times this is happening to, not only young men of color, but women of color too. So I can't sit through that. Now, everything that I've been hearing about this case lets me know that those three men just saw a black man jogging through the neighborhood, and as they always do, figure he was up to no good. And they are racist, and they followed that boy, cornered him like a rat, like they said, and they did a modern day lynching to him. And again, every time I even think about that, y'all, it as a black person living in the the century that we are in, I'm just disgusted, saddened. I there are no words for it because I put myself in Ahmad's place. I put my son in his place, and it's too much. It is too much. These white people, I don't know what's going on with them. Well, we all know. I don't even know why I said it that way. We know that this country was built on racism. We know what it is. We know that it has never gone away. It recedes in the background a little bit every so often, but then when it comes back out, it's gangbusters, crazy. They hate us simply because of the color of our skin. That's it. And they think that we are always up to no good. Now, this is a narrative that they have spun since the moment that we stepped foot in this country, you know, that we are up to no good. If that's the case, why the hell did they sail halfway across the world to come get us? It's not like we asked to come here. That's why when they talk about us being lazy and shiftless, I'm like, we were so lazy that you sailed all the way across the world to come and get us to help you build America. I mean, it can't be both. Either we're lazy or we're good workers or whatever. I don't know. But getting back to the case, one thing that I do like about the judge in the Ahmaud Arbery case, the the defense team is being a little wordy with him, a little snippy or short with the judge, or saying little undercover smart aleck things. It wasn't that he wasn't catching it. He had got fed up yesterday and he checked their asses and told them that they were being disrespectful and that he was going to take a minute off the bench to go somewhere and calm down before he did something, I guess, that he would regret. But I like that at least he's not showing bias like the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Because here's the thing, as black people, we don't want favoritism. We just want to be treated equally. We want it to be equal, under the eyes of the law. We don't want special treatment. We just want to be treated the same. And so far of what I've seen of the case, now y'all, like I said, I cannot sit through Ahmad's case like, because it hits too close to home. Y'all know how many of these that we have sat through, Trayvon Martin, Samir Rice, all of this, and it's just too much. I I I'm at a point here in America as an American citizen where I don't have any faith in this country when it comes to us. I don't. I really don't. Because I look at the contrast between the the two cases and the person who is at the center of the case. I find it so interesting that in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, they are not even referring to it as the Kyle Rittenhouse case. They're referring to it as the Black Lives Matter protester case. So let me tell y'all what's so funny. I had forgotten that the young white men that were there that were killed were there protesting with Black Lives Matter. All I focused on was what happened and who did it. So I'm not even sure why they are calling it the Black Lives Matter protester case because basically that is irrelevant. The part that's most relevant is you got a 17-year-old who crossed state lines with an assault weapon and murdered two people and severely injured another. That's the case right there. Black Lives Matter does not have anything to do with it because, first of all, the two people that were actually murdered were not even black. They were white young men who were there in support of Black Lives Matter. So I don't even know, you know what I mean, y'all? They want to throw that BLM in there to prejudice some white folk out there. Oh well, yeah, see, they were there for Black Lives Matter. That's what they get. That's why they keep putting that in there. Very interesting, y'all. And another thing that bothered me in the Ahmaud Arbery case, his mom sitting in the courtroom. Y'all, these are some strong women because in stuff like this, when stuff like this happens, I always try to put myself in the place of the victim, the parents of the victim. And y'all, I'ma honestly say, I don't know if I would be strong enough, hell, even lucid enough or conscious enough to sit through the trial. Now, they say that, never say never. You don't know how you would react, and you will find the strength somewhere to get through it for your child. But I don't know. I just don't know if I could sit through, the dash cam, the body cam videos, the blood all over those guys in the Ahmaud Arbery case, because I would be sitting there like that is my child's blood. That, oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. I don't think that I could do it. I just don't. And so moms like Trayvon Martin's mother, Michael Brown's mother, and now Ahmaud Arbery's mother, I admire their strength because I know I'm strong in certain ways, but I just don't know if I could be as strong as them. And I'm just keeping it real. I know myself. I think, y'all, that I will fall completely apart. And I mean to the point where I would probably be needing help. And I mean psychiatric help. I'm just keeping it real. I don't have that type of strength. I just know myself, you know, that if I lost one of my kids in a manner that these women, and I hate to use the term lost their child because they didn't lose their child was taken from them. So if my child had been taken from me like that, I don't think that mentally I would survive it. I would be all messed up, y'all. So I just wanted to know if you guys are watching the trial and what you're getting from it. I have been noticing that pretty much the way I feel about the both of the trials, most of the people that I'm reading their comments or watching their videos, they're pretty much feeling the same way that I am, that it is a tale of two trials, a tale of two Americas. Ahmad was the victim here, you know? Yes, he wandered into a construction site, but from what the homeowner said, other folks had wandered into that same construction site over and over, and he had called on them. But he also said that from what he could see from the cameras that were set up, nothing was ever stolen. And more importantly, Ahmad never took anything. And then I'm going to say this and then I'm just going to end the video. Just say Ahmad had went in there and stole a plank of wood. Should his sentence be death? I mean, think about, let's really think about that. I'm going to say it again. Just say he went in there and he stole some wood, a couple hammers, and some nails. Is the the sentence for that immediate death at the end of a barrel of a shotgun, to be chased through a neighborhood by three, for lack of better words, hillbillies on a mission, cornered, you fighting for your life, and then they blow you away? Is that the sentence? So right there on the street, in the middle of that street, they became judge, jury, and executioners. I don't get it, y'all. So let me know down in the comments how you feel about it. And God, all I can say is I hope that in both these trials, because for the mothers of those young white men that were killed, I know they want justice for the murders of their children too. So in both these trials, I hope they end in a way that brings justice for the victims. And that's another thing. In the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, that psychotic judge would not even allow the prosecutors to refer to the young men that were killed as victims. He said that they could only be referred to as rioters, protesters, or something like that. That shows you his bias. How does he know what they were doing while they were there? They were protesting, yes, but how does he know that they were looting or, tearing up stuff? That's showing a bias towards the defense. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here because I can go on and on about it. But again, leave your comments down in the comment section. And as always, thanks for taking the time to listen to my video. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.